Hello and welcome, guys. Today we're going to talk about core beliefs that get formed because of emotional incest in childhood. I remind you what is the whole concept of core beliefs. When we as little, when we are in children and we face some kind of life events, we interpret them in our head and we make some kind of conclusions based on it. But because children, they are not brain developed enough to see life in a complex way, in a balanced way, in a diverse way, they're gonna make like very big generalizations, and these core beliefs, they oftentimes like really simple and really simplified. Like, for example, I am good or I am bad, others are good or others are bad, parents are good or parents are bad, I am ugly or I am wonderful. Like very simple, black and white, oversimplified beliefs. And because of different life events, our beliefs can be different. I have one playlist about basic cognitive skills and second playlist about intermediate cognitive skills. So if you want to know more about core beliefs, assumptions, and all that, you can check out my training about intermediate training of cognitive skills. I won't waste your time about it here, so please check it out. Also, please share this video with your friends and your social networks and my channel in general. You know that this is the best thank you can give me. So let's begin. Today we're going to talk about emotional incest and which core beliefs are typical for emotional incest. What is emotional incest? Simply explained, it is when parents use their children to meet their own needs. Like a parent uses their child to play the psychotherapist. Like a parent uses their child as their own babysitter. Like they use their child to play the role of their partner, of their friend, or they sexually use their child. So this kind of exploiting your child for your own needs, this is emotional incest. Problem with emotional incest is that it's often hidden. It's not openly spoken in society so much. So when people face it, they don't always understand what is going on, and most often they don't. This is why I have so many comments like, oh my god, I never knew that this is called like this in my video about emotional incest, because people really they didn't have a name for it and they didn't recognize it, they didn't understand what was going on. And this causes quite special effect on core beliefs. So let's begin. uh, First, let's talk about core beliefs about self. As you know, there are several kinds of core beliefs about self, about others, about the world around us. So belief about self. um, because emotional incest is not easily recognizable, because it is not widespread spoken about, because oftentimes on the outside it looks like a perfect family, like, oh, this child gets so much love, so much attention from their parents, how wonderful. Because of all this, there is often this situation that the child feels horrible, that they feel something is wrong, but their parents, society around them, everyone around them tells them that it's just you're spoiled. You just don't understand things. You have perfect life. Your family is perfect. Nothing is wrong. And this causes first core belief that might appear. It's core belief that I cannot trust myself. That my perception of the world, my perception of what is going on are not right. I cannot trust myself. I feel something is wrong, but everybody is telling me that everything is okay. So I cannot trust myself. My feelings are not trustworthy. And this is really, really bad stuff. A really bad core belief, because I won't go in details. Let's just make a full list first. So, core belief number one, I cannot trust myself. I cannot trust my perception. I cannot trust my feelings. And this is ruining the relationship with themselves. And then there is also second belief that comes from it, that a child in such situation, they don't have experience of truth. experience of, oh, this is actually the felt truth. We're not talking about like scientific knowledge or something, but when your thoughts, feelings, actions, and those of other people, they kind of get together in one understanding of things. And this is the experience of truthfulness, of something you can rely on. But if you have this idea that I cannot trust myself, my feelings are saying me something that is not true, then you don't have this experience of truth. You kind of live in this experience of, I don't know what is true. Everything seems weird, but everybody tells me it's okay. And this is also a really bad experience. And because of it, you have two elements. First of all, there is no truth. Second of all, I cannot trust myself. I cannot trust my feelings. And because of it, it's really difficult for this person to learn through life, to acquire new knowledge, to test new things and understand which are good, which are bad, to trust themselves about what is good and what is bad. So really detrimental influence. This is number one, distortion number one, I cannot trust myself. Distortion number two, there is no real felt truth. That I feel one thing, another thing is happening in reality, third person is feeling a third thing. So, and it's really, really confusing for children. Next we have a third belief, and this comes that I'm unlovable. It might seem kind of ridiculous because many children in emotional incest situation, they are very well treated on the outside. Like they get the fancy toys, they get what they want, they are called wonderful, parents entertain them in different ways, but deep inside they feel very unlovable and lonely. This core belief that I am unlovable comes from the fact that in emotional incest, love is conditional. In emotional incest, child is loved not because of who they are, not because they are just there. No, they are loved if they play a certain role. And the role can be different. Like in case of golden child, you have this kind of expanded grandiosity of how wonderful you are, and you have to fit in, you have to comply with this image. So as you are not loved and accepted. In case of sexualized incest, you have to accept being sexualized because you see it as payment for attention from parent. In case of romantic incest, you have to play this romantic partner in order to be loved. In case of when you are a parent to your own parent, you have to play this parent role in order to be loved and to save others in order to be loved and appreciated. So it results in this situation that love is seen as transactional and is conditional in emotional incest situations. And because of it, the child ends up feeling that I am unlovable, even if on the surface they get a lot from their parents. Their parents are attentive, they give them gifts, they praise them, blah blah blah. But deep inside they feel unloved, unseen, and very lonely and suffering. And when they feel so bad, they get blamed that they are ungrateful, that they are horrible, that they are selfish, and so on. And this leads us to our fourth belief. This belief that I am selfish, I am ungrateful, I am a bad person, I am horrible, and so on and so on. It often comes from emotional incest because when the parent is trying to meet their needs through child, and the child dares to have their own needs and to have their own character and to have their own emotions and so on, the parent will often get annoyed with the child, and instead of saying that, okay, I'm expecting something that my child should not give me, like romantic love or whatever, they say that I'm giving so much and this child is ungrateful bastard. I'm giving so much and they are selfish. They need to be punished. They are spoiled. They don't value what I give them. They are arrogant. They are whatever. So there is this idea that I am bad, I'm worthless, I don't deserve what I have, and I cannot deserve good things because the child doesn't satisfy parents' need, and parent kind of makes them believe this about themselves. And then you can see these cases that an adult person is not able to enjoy something, to um, be beautiful, to be happy, to be free in their life, and so on and so on, because they have this deep-rooted belief that I am bad, I am selfish, and I need to be punished. Okay, and there it can go in two different ways. First way is trying to prove that no, I'm not bad, I am good, please, I will do anything for you, so please just love me and tell me I'm good. And such person can be this like people pleaser. And another way is saying like, yeah, I'm bad, fuck you, I'm bad, sorry for swearing, but that's it, I'm bad, I will behave bad, just leave me alone, let me be me, let me be myself, I can be bad, that's fine. And the person believes they're bad and start acting this way, or believes they're selfish and start acting this way. And both, of course, are not good, and both of them are not true. So belief number 4, that I am bad, I am selfish, I am entitled, I am spoiled, and so on and so on and so on. Belief number, what is it, number 5? Number 5, in case of golden child, especially, this is a child that gets a lot of praise from their parents, that gets like their self-esteem too high, because the parent is like idolizing them and saying how they're wonderful, how they're better than everyone else, how they're smart and how they're talented and how they're this and how they're that. I'm always making poetry nowadays. Ah, so genius. This is example of golden child thinking. So golden child, they can have very, very positive core beliefs about self. And on one hand, you might say, oh, that's great, you have positive beliefs, but in reality, it's not that great, because we don't need positive beliefs. We need beliefs that make us adaptive to our life. And positive beliefs are sometimes not making us adaptive to the life. Which core beliefs can have this spoiled, so-called spoiled golden child? Core belief that I am special. I'm not like everyone else. I'm better. I deserve special treatment. My life is getting better and better. Nothing bad can happen to me. Bad things happen to other ordinary people, and I'm not ordinary. I deserve what I have. I have some big talent. I have some big capacities. My future will be great, and I will be like, I don't know, world ruler or something. Well, this is a bit extreme, but you get it, what I say. I am a genius. I am so smart. I am so beautiful. I am much better than others, and so on, and so on, and so on. Why these beliefs can be harmful? Because in general, um, there are not people who are much better than others. It just doesn't exist, okay? There are people who can be talented in something, but still they need to work a lot in order to achieve their goals. There are people who can be like naturally good in some things, but still it doesn't make them a genius, it doesn't make them special, and so on and so on. And these kinds of beliefs, they have many detrimental effects. First effect is preventing the child from developing relationships with others, because they believe they are special, they believe they are better, so they might act arrogantly, they might not show empathy to others, they might not try to understand other people, they might not respect other people, and because of it, they cannot create any meaningful relationships in their life. This is one way. Second way is that because they believe they are special, they are wonderful and all that, they expect everything in life to just come to them. They expect everything in life to be wonderful because I am so special. And life doesn't work like that. In life, you have to tolerate losses. In life, you have to tolerate misfortunes. In life, you have to go through difficult periods. In life, you have to work a lot if you need to achieve something. In life, sometimes you want something, but you cannot get it. And you need to be able to accept a no, and so on and so on. You need to be able to know the boundaries. And this idea that I am so special, so I can achieve anything like this, can end in such a way that the person expects special treatment, expects success without working for it, expects to always be given a yes. And if they're given a no, they just don't accept it. And here we have sometimes, like narcissistic behaviors. When a narcissistic spectrum person gets a no, they don't accept it, and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and manipulating and abusing and forcing another person to do as they like, because they kind of have this idea that I'm special, I'm more important, my desires, my needs are more important. And this makes this um, relationship really horrible for that other person, but it also makes it horrible for the golden child themselves in long term, because if you believe those things, you cannot build long lasting fruitful relationships. In order to have really great relationships, you need to recognize other people as equal to yourself. You need to be able to be empathetic. You need to be able to give space to others and not just be self-centered all the time. But I want to point out that this, if you recognize yourself in this is not your fault. It's not your fault that your parents didn't raise you satisfying those needs for boundaries and limits. It's not your fault. You couldn't choose it. It wasn't your choice. But now, if you recognize you're in it, you can take responsibility and change it, because those core beliefs, they can be altered, they can be changed. And I will give some exercises later about how. But you can also check this intermediate cognitive skills training. There I have some exercises. So here we have another core belief that I'm special. This core belief can also result in such a way that a person um, is overly optimistic in their life. Like they think that I am special, so I will never get sick. I am special, so I will never be homeless. I am special, so something else, and they are not careful enough about some things. They might engage in risky behaviors because they don't think that bad things can happen to them. They can be arrogant, they can be aggressive, and this way get into trouble. And also, if you have this idea that I'm special, rules are for other people, and I get what I want, it's easy to commit crimes and then end up in prison or, not very nice. So, this core idea, I'm special. Mm, but this core idea, I'm special, it can sound wonderful, but in the end it also leads to loneliness. It also leads to feeling of isolation. And it also, a person who has such inflated self-esteem, they don't really feel confident, because in order to feel confident, you need to have your judgments about yourself based on real facts and real achievements. If your parents were just telling you how wonderful you are, but you didn't have enough real achievements and real things to back up this judgment, you always gonna have this kind of a doubt. And this is where comes this fluctuation in self-esteem. I was talking in the emotional incest video that if you have it, you're gonna fluctuate in self-esteem. So one day you feel like you're wonderful, you're genius, you're so much better than everyone else, and the next day you feel like you are worthless, dirty, unlovable, you feel shameful, and so on. And behind all these, you feel shame and loneliness. a lot of loneliness and isolation, because this idea that I'm better than others and all that, it's actively preventing you from having wonderful relationships and from connecting to others. And everyone has this deep, deep need to connect with other people, and it's just a lot of detrimental effect on your life and on your relationships. Um, I am special idea sometimes can be based on facts. Like, for example, you were really smart as a child, this gifted child. And because of it, you got used to getting what you want easily. Like, you get best marks at school easily, you get, praise easily at school, and so on and so on. But then you grow up, and the thing with real life and with adult life is that you're never better than everyone in everything. Okay, you're never getting what you want immediately like this because of your talents in everything. And oftentimes, gifted children, when they grow up, they face some kind of life crisis and depression, and they find themselves not adapted to outside reality, because maybe they are gifted in school, maybe they are gifted in those skills, but maybe they're not gifted in communication skills, and those are not developed. And also, many of them don't develop enough self-discipline and self-control, because I'm gifted, I'm special, I don't need to do any effort to achieve what I want. So they don't get used to hard work, and then it's really, really painful for them to in adult life, when you cannot go on talent alone. So yes, and also, by the way, discipline and self-control and knowing the limits in society and in relationships are important consequences of this I am special idea. Yes. Another thing, another core belief about self that can come from um, emotional incest. It can come especially from emotional incest when there was physical violence, and if you were a golden child. What is it? It's I'm helpless. I'm helpless, I'm little, I'm small, I need other people, I cannot do it on my own, and all that. How it appears? Several ways. First, if you get some physical, emotional, other kinds of sexual violence in your childhood, you learn this experience of helplessness, and then it continues. Another way, second way, is when your parents are overprotective and they do everything for you, and this is bad for children. Like parents who are not paying enough attention, who are neglecting their children, are bad for their child. But also parents who are overprotective, doing too much, are also bad for their child. Why? Because children, they don't just have needs for protection, they also have needs for competency. We had this list of key needs. Remember, we did it in the previous videos. And there is this need for competency, need for agency, need for mastery. And a child, ideally, the more the child grows up, the more they do things that they're capable of doing. Like they do some household stuff, they do some exercises, they do some homework studies, and so on and so on and so on. And some parents, they may think, oh no, this is too harsh on the child needs to just enjoy life and all that. But the thing is that doing things is good for mental health, and doing things is actually good for self-esteem. Good self-esteem is not based on some praise and inflated ego and all that. Good self-esteem is based on achievement. Like, I managed to do this household chore, I can do things on my own, I am competent. I managed to earn a little money during summer so I can spend it on my own, I'm competent, I can manage. And this way, a child who engages with the world, like, oh, I managed to solve a conflict on my own, they get this core belief about themselves, that I am competent, that I am capable of changing my environment, that I am capable of having a decision and executing it. And this is so important in adult life. But if a child was overprotected, if a child didn't have this, autonomy, competence need met in their childhood, then they're gonna have a core belief that I am helpless, I am little, I need other people to take care of me, I depend on others, I cannot do things myself, adult life is so scary, there are so many things to do, I can never manage it, I need other people to do it in my stead. And of course this is not true, they are capable of doing the same things that others are doing. But of course also, you have this idea that um, if you are having this competency gradually growing through your childhood, if you have the responsibility of your tasks gradually growing through your childhood, you get used to them, and once you become adult, you are ready to do adult decisions, adult life choices, you're ready to have some adult responsibilities. But if in childhood you were overprotected and you didn't have opportunity to develop this competence, you didn't have this steady increase in difficulty, you just wake up one day and you're supposed to be an adult, but you don't know how. You don't have experience in it, you don't know how to take care of yourself, even in basic things like cook things, clean around, like take groceries, and like those small things that adults normally can do easily, you cannot, because you get used that a parent is constantly taking care of you. Yes, so this is really and the difficulty is instantly very high. So while a child who could have his competence needs satisfied, they were like growing step by step higher and higher and higher. The child who didn't, they just wake up one day and the society tells them, you are an adult, you're supposed to live as an adult, you're supposed to do things on your own, but they never did anything on their own, for example. So this is also really harmful, and they are often overwhelmed by everything going on, and it's really painful experience for many who had such core belief, especially if this is combined with belief I am special, because I am special, but I cannot do what others do because I didn't get used to it since childhood and others did. So it's really, really painful when you lived your whole life believing that you're special and better than others, and then you suddenly see that no, you're not, and even you cannot do basic things that others can. So this is another core belief, I am helpless. Okay, what else? What else? Let me remember. Remembered. Core belief about self number 6 is that when you had emotional incest in your past, you can believe yourself to be very fragile, very weak, very, like soft, and you can pay too much attention to your discomfort. This also happens from your parents. Like if you were this golden child who was overprotected, who was over taken care of, you gonna get used to paying a lot of attention to every small discomfort that you face. And this again can be harmful because normally we're supposed to learn to tolerate some level of discomfort. That yes, it is uncomfortable, but I have to do it, so I do it. Yes, it is not pleasant, but I do it. But if you didn't learn to tolerate this discomfort, if you have this core belief that I am fragile, I am so soft, I need to take care of myself, I cannot face any discomfort or I will fall apart, all this from overprotective parents, you're gonna avoid a lot of things in life. You're gonna avoid trying new things, you're gonna avoid new relationships, you're gonna be overprotective about yourself. You can also become very anxious about your health, expecting your health to go bad at some things. You can also become very protective and anxious about your mental health, and so on and so on. So you have this core belief that I am fragile, that I am soft, that I am very sensitive, and I need to take care of myself. And because of it, you're avoiding a lot of things that could make you feel strong. And yeah, it's also not nice to have. Not nice to have. And another opposite thing is when you have self-belief that I am very strong and I can do more than I can. It especially happens when you are playing this role of a parent in parent-child relationship. So your parent is playing the role of a child and you are playing the role of a parent, and this way you are getting used to take on responsibilities since you are little, and you can take on yourself much more than what you are capable of doing. And from this comes our next discussion. If you are in this emotional incest when you are the parent for your parent, when you cannot be a child, when you have to be an adult at an early age, it is especially common among people who have parents with addictions like alcoholism, drug addiction, and so on and so on, or emotionally immature parents, infantile parents. Then it's very common that you play the parent role, and because of it, of course, you get all the previous beliefs, like for example, I am special, other children cannot do it and I can, or belief that I am unlovable, I need to work and prove my worth and only then people can love me, or that, you know, mm, other things. So basically, yes, this can also influence and create all these beliefs, and also create this illusion that you have to work all the time, you have to take responsibility on yourself all the time, and so on. Or it can create opposite direction, opposite core belief, that like that you start avoiding relationships. And you oftentimes see that children who used to be like parents to their own parents and parents to their brothers and sisters, they really don't want to have their own family because they associate family and relationships with huge amount of work, that if they want to be in a relationship they have to work for it so much that they say like, oh no, I'd better be without relationship but free and decide what I want to do on my own. So these this is all about basic core beliefs. Forgot about sexualized incest. Let's add about sexualized incest, that when a child is engaged in sexualized incest, they can have several core beliefs. First core belief is that they can get a feeling that they are dirty, that they are disgusting, because they experience this sexualization as disgusting. They can also reject their own sexuality, reject their own feelings and emotions, because when a parent is trying to engage you sexually and you feel something about it, as response, you feel horrified by it and you just lock down all the feelings totally. And such children can avoid engaging in any sexual relationships in the future, and they can avoid romantic relationships in the future and so on, because they don't want to unblock those feelings, because if they unlock sexual attraction and so on, they will unblock what they felt towards their parents as well, and this whole experience, and this is very painful for them, so they don't. But why I'm talking about it is that the child again gets this idea that I'm unlovable, I need to perform sexually, or I need to be sexualized to be loved. And then we have this thing that such person can not believe that they are lovable as they are, and they try to get love by sexually satisfying other people. Like they cannot believe that, oh, this person can be friends with me just because I'm nice, or this person can love me just because I'm a good person or something, or just because I am, after all. They always pay by sexualizing themselves. They learned this lesson from their parent, that in order to be loved, I need to sexually satisfy another person, I need to sexually appeal to another person, I need to attract sexual attention from another person. And there we can see this two directions again. Either the person avoids being sexual and avoids such interaction with others, or they engage sexually with other people even if they don't really want it. Like, for example, a woman was sexualized in her childhood and she is sexualizing herself and engaging in sex with people whom she doesn't maybe even find attractive, just because she has this idea that if somebody paying attention to me, I have to sleep with them because otherwise they wouldn't, or I cannot be loved if I don't sleep with them. So, and this of course leads to core belief that my sexual appeal is the most important thing about me, that this is what can be loved, and I am as and without it I'm unlovable. And it's especially painful when the person, well, you get it. So I think I remembered all the main core beliefs. So let's sum up. I am special, I am wonderful, I'm better than others. Then I am weak, I am helpless, I am a softie, I am fragile, I need to take care of myself. I need others to do things for me. I cannot do things on my own. I am unlovable, I need to do things to be loved, be it engaging in romantic relationships, sexualized relationships, and so on. I am, what else? Well, you get it. Rewatch the video. And your home task for today is to analyze which beliefs, core beliefs about yourself you gained from this emotional incest experience, or just from your childhood in general, because it's not only for emotional incest. And once you do it, analyze in which situations these beliefs appear in your adult life. Like, for example, you have this belief that sexual appeal is what's important about me, otherwise I'm unlovable. And in your adult life, you're trying to always be sexually attractive, and you're getting in sexual relationships with people you don't even want to be sexual with. Or, for example, you have this idea, core idea, that I'm special, and because of it, you find it really difficult to tolerate, a lot of work, or to tolerate being treated like others. You want some special treatment. Or you have this core idea that, oh, I'm weak, I'm fragile, I'm so helpless, others need to take care of me, and because of it, you are scared of adult life and of adult, responsibilities, and so on and so on and so on. So first, analyze which core beliefs about yourself you likely have from your past, and second, analyze in which spheres they appear. And pay attention that I named just a few. I named like typical cases that I know, that I am familiar with, but everyone is an individual, and our brains and our soul, our emotions, everything works in kind of individual ways. So please pay attention to your own self and how you feel about those things, and yeah, note them down. If you have any doubts, you can write me comments and I will try to reply if I am able to. And please remember to share this video, remember to share it with your friends, with your friends on social networks, with your subscribers, followers, and this is the best thank you that you can give me, as well as writing a comment, subscribing to this channel, pressing the bell button, liking this video, and all these nice things, because I am really, really happy when I get such reactions, and when I see that you're recommending my channel, and then I get messages from others that, oh, I got recommendation from my friend. This is always making me very happy. And also you can improve life of other people when you share this content with them, but because maybe they went through emotional incest but they don't know about it, so you let them know. And I see you soon. Next time we're going to talk about our core beliefs about others and our core beliefs about the world that come from emotional incest. See you soon. Bye bye.